Oregon is home to endless creativity, brimming with wonder, art, and imagination. We are the worldwide hub for stop motion animation. Come see for yourself at the Lake Oswego Festival of the Arts. Step into the world of artists whose work brings Oscar winning animations to life with animation, script to screen, the featured exhibit celebrating the collaborative magic of stop motion every step of the way. Are you or someone you know animation obsessed? Cool, so are we. It's not just puppets and props. It's a fully immersive experience. Amazing local vendors, scrumptious food, film screenings, and tons of art to inspire direct from the artists. One festival, two locations, six exhibits. One weekend only, June 20th to the 22nd, at the Lakewood Center for the Arts and George Rogers Park.
Well, pose, snap. Pose, snap, and then repeat that about 1 million times. It's one of the most meticulous and oldest forms of animation, stop motion. From the iconic Jack Skellington of Nightmare Before Christmas to the Oregon-made nightmare world of Coraline, the medium brings all kinds of imagination to life. And if you want a look behind the scenes, the Lake Oswego Festival of the Arts is the place to be. Here to talk about the animation script-to-screen exhibit at their upcoming festival, we have animator Anthony Schott, puppet fabricator Suzanne Moulton, and costumes fabricator and PCC educator Annika Schoenfeld. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you.
This is just such a cool exhibit for something that I think a lot of entertainment fans may not know that Oregon does so well, you know, stop motion animation. Tell us about what's happening at the festival next weekend.
So the main exhibit that we're been a part of is script to screen, where you actually follow through from the idea, from a book, from the piece of paper, all the way through fabrication into creating puppets and sets, and then following it into animation and seeing everything it takes to bring that to life.
It is really remarkable, I think, to get to see this behind the scenes look. And so now, Annika and Suzanne, you both are kind of part of the script side of script to screen, right? Really kind of first bringing these ideas to life. Tell us about some of the work that you do.
Yeah, so I do puppet fabrication, and at some of the studios in town I've specialized in some costume work, which is amazing, just making miniature, like doll-sized clothes.
Yeah.
But they can animate and they can come to life.
And with the level
yeah.
and detail of a Hollywood set costuming department, right? It's just
Exactly.
so remarkable. How about you, Suzanne?
Well, coming from a background of working with wire and fiber, I specialized in doing hair. I did hair for Coraline. And what you're going to see is a lot of treasures from the vaults of all sorts of studios around the world, actually, that are going to be there. There's going to be some historical items as well from the Stop Motion Museum.
Yeah.
And also from Aardman, from Leica, and from Shadow Machine, things from Wendell and Wild and Coraline. You're going to see all of the physical things.
Yeah, well, and we've got just a few treasures here this morning. Will you tell us about your wolf puppets that you brought in? These are so cool.
Yeah, so this is an example of a wire puppet done with some felt. And these are kind of the things you're going to see. We also have some things there that are from independent studios as well. So it's sort of representing everybody.
I think they're really neat. I don't know if if you've been in and out of PDX, once all the renovation was done, we've got some really cool stuff on display at the airport from Shadowbox and from Leica. And to see these puppets, up close and in real life, I think gives you a different appreciation of the detail and just how meticulous some of this work is that you just don't always think about when you're kind of lost in the fantasy on the big screen, right? I mean, what's the reaction when you get to see people kind of appreciating your work up close?
I think because it's so tiny,
Yeah.
that gets really exciting. Like when you were a kid, you imagined playing with your toys. You really had that whole, you could see the movie in your head. And so when you come in, there's something very childlike, I think, that gets inspired, where you're like, the toys, but they come to life. Like I watched them in a movie. They really talked and walked and had an amazing adventure.
Yeah.
And then it really connects it to childhood for me, to see it all in miniature.
Oh, totally.
It's really fun to bring a friend or a family member into the studio because
I
it blows
bet.
their minds. Because we have all these sets set up, maybe 20 different units that
Right.
we're shooting on. They're all miniature worlds.
Yeah, you're like, this is my
Yeah.
playground. Now, Anthony, you're more on kind of the screen end, right, of this script to screen exhibit. So tell us about what you're bringing into this.
Well, I bring these characters to life, so I have to think about how they're going to move, give them character and personality. So that's what I've been doing for over 30 years. I started on Gumby, working with clay, and working on Nightmare Before Christmas and James and the Giant Peach, Coraline.
Yeah.
And more recently, Pinocchio and Wendell and Wild here in Portland.
Very cool. And now all three of you have worked with Leica before. You've all worked on a film together as well, right? Brim Broom Boulevard.
Yeah.
How collaborative is this industry, and how lucky are we to have this many stop motion animators in the Portland area?
Portland is the worldwide hub
Yeah.
for stop motion animation. At the point when we had Pinocchio and Wendell and Wild in production, and Leica was doing films. There was more production here in Portland than anywhere in history.
Oh my gosh.
But it's a wonderful, my dog is friends with his dog. You know, like we get to work right next to each other, and I can walk over and ask Suzanne for advice because I know she knows everything about the wires or other things. So it's really nice that you can ask experts right next to you.
Yeah, we really are, I think, so lucky to have just this incredible wealth of talent right in our own backyard. And with that being said, if you've got some young aspiring animators, what would your advice be to them if they come to check out this festival?
I mean, if they're already animating, or if they're not, you can get apps for your iPad or your iPhone and start animating your toys. I started when I was 11 years old.
Oh, no way.
And so I think if there's anybody watching this now and they want to come down and check out what we've done and the exhibits, the talk. I'll be giving a talk on Saturday, June 21st, and I'll talk about how I got into the business and all the projects I've worked on.
Yeah, we've just scratched the surface here this morning, so a chance to come meet some of the animators, the puppet makers, the artists that bring all of these wonderful worlds to life. Thank you all for being here.
Yeah,
really appreciate the preview, and you don't want to miss it. The exhibit coming to the Lake Oswego Festival of the Arts, June 20th through the 22nd. You can find all the links to what's happening during the festival and more on some of the talks and more. Just check